Monday morning, everyone. I am here at our Whetstone clinic. I've got a little task to do. I need to do two things. One, I'll get rid of this bench at some point, and I also need to repair this leg extension machine because as things stand, there's no, where I haven't put this thing in here at the moment, it's just got no kind of leverage to it when you use it. So I need to wait because Charles is in there at the moment with a patient and I don't want to start smacking that thing around, which is why I'm talking a little bit quiet at the moment. But in other news, I've got loads of meetings this week as well. I'm going to be meeting with our accounts, I'm meeting with our marketing person, and I'm going to meet with our general manager or operation manager, Gemma, just to get an idea of what the plan is moving forward. We're just doing our Q2 analysis at the moment, and from my side of things, I just feel that things can be slightly improved in areas, but part of what I've got to think about is that's going to be the case all the time, and I need to be mindful of how much I push this, but it needs to be realistic at the same time of what the targets are, how we're growing, and what does growth look like. I had a meeting actually at 8 o'clock this morning with a university who we're looking at doing apprenticeship programs with, and they were kind of setting out the things that we need to be mindful of when running an apprenticeship program. So I've got to sort out a recruitment strategy for that. I have a plan, I just got to put it into action. I am now on my way to the dentist. I've got an appointment there at 9:45. Once I finish that, I'm off to Barnet Clinic to have my meetings with the team there. The weather at the moment is shocking. Also reminding myself of something that I need to do today. I was looking yesterday at commercial properties which are available, and there's a very interesting property which is available in the area where we operate in at the moment. There seem to be some issues surrounding it about its class of use. So commercial property has different classes of use, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of what this particular class means, and also what it means from a competitive point of view, because the thing that we're looking to buy will be solely for business purposes. Usually, sometimes people look to buy these commercial properties to be able to convert them into residential, and they'll look at the pound per square foot of that particular site and then work out what they'd be able to sell it pound per square foot as a residential. And you tend to find there's a fair bit of difference in the prices for that amount. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to reach out to the people who seem to be managing the sale of the site and just find out from them exactly what is happening with it, and whether or not there'd be any interest from us coming in and submitting a bid, which would hopefully support what they want from the project as well. Dentist complete. It's got nothing to do with business, but I tell you, the level of anxiety I get going into there, thinking that I might have to have a filling or something, gives me more anxiety than running the business sometimes. So yeah, feedback was everything's fine. Place a big importance actually on going to see them because of how much I hate it. And I'm always wondering, could I apply that here to business? I don't think I can. But the point is that there gives me the fear. Running business, yeah, it's hard, but it ain't as stressful as walking into that place. Okay, back at home now. Time is 1:15. I've just finished my meeting with Natasha, finished my meeting with James, did a very, very brief meeting with Gemma. I'm about to go back to clinic for 1:30 because I've got to leave CPD with the team there. Actually, I think I've got to do clinic meeting, not CPD. So I'm just putting together my report at the moment for what I'm going to discuss with them and ensure that they all know what the focus is, especially for Q3. And then later, I'm going to be doing my analysis of Q2 in preparation for our meeting on Wednesday. Just finished my meeting. I'm going to show you the rest of the team. Here's the guy I keep talking about, James. He's going to be taking over, showing you how it's done properly. You know not to talk in it because you ain't got a microphone. That's the rule. And this is the other person I talk about all the time, Tash.
I wouldn't think old person.
No, the other person I talk to all the time. Yeah. And how positive I always am about her. Always positive about her. It's Tuesday morning. Got to get super comfortable being in front of the camera today because we've got the pro coming in, who you just saw there walking in. So today is the day for all our main filming. Getting myself ready for camera here, we've got James. He is the main guy. Here is the kit. Doesn't look like much, but it's better than what I'm holding in my hand. So it looks quite small, but if you can see what I've got, here we go. That's my kit. So you can do the comparison of who's the professional and who's the amateur. But yeah, we're going to get started with doing main bulk of filming. Let's see how we do. Are you suffering with back pain? If you are, rest is definitely not the answer. Back pain comes down to 3 core fundamentals. Number 1, muscle imbalances. Muscle imbalances are where you have different areas of load shifted to different parts of the body, and we need to optimize that. Number 2, poor core stability. Your core is the fundamental part of supporting the base of that spine. And number 3 is faulty movement patterns. Every time you sit, every time you lift, anything that you do with your spine, the body loads it in a specific way. Rest and painkillers, they're not going to help. You have to find a root cause. So, if you're suffering with back pain, then come and see a member of our team. I know we can help you. Tuesday afternoon, I am in our Colindale clinic. I spent all of this morning doing filming with James, and he's actually got my camera now, so I'm going to use my phone to record this. So it's going to be a little bit different to the other ones that I have. It already looks a little bit jumpy when I'm filming it. I did my home visit at around about 2:30. I've now got clinic here until 8 p.m. Things are going well at the moment. We're trying to really push the marketing side of things at the moment, and my role has to definitely shift more towards that. So I'm trying to make a bit of a plan at the moment as to what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and get myself more familiar with talking on camera. It's crazy how difficult I found it when it's got to be scripted and polished, and you can't say and I love saying that sounds weird saying that, but anyway, things are going well. We've got our Q2 analysis tomorrow as well, so I will give you an update on how that's performing. And yeah, gonna get back to my notes now and my planning and looking at our analysis, and also trying to book in some meetings for next week on our podiatry adventure. Just on my way to the gym. I haven't got my camera because the SD card is full at the moment, so I'm having to resort to my phone. I don't normally go to the gym midday during the week, but at the moment I'm finding it really difficult to go in the morning, and with work being super busy during the week, it's hard to be able to get up and go before the day starts. Yesterday I didn't get back home till like 8:45, and I started my day at 5 a.m. So it's hard to get up with only 5 hours sleep or so to try and get what I need to do in the day in terms of the gym stuff. So I'm gonna go now, and then I've got work this evening as well, which will be all admin stuff. Whilst I'm dipping out now, I'll be making up this hour or so later on for sure. Wednesday morning, everyone, back in clinic. This is where I was doing our first filming session yesterday. We've got our team meeting coming up now. We're going to do our Q2 analysis. Hopefully, the feedback's going to be going well. We'll see. But yeah, I've got a meeting at 11 o'clock with the team to do our Google ads. So I'm going to find out what we're doing with that. We've got to change some of the way we're spending money there, because we're investing into certain services at the moment which aren't necessarily growing at the rate we want them to go. So we're going to try and re-divert that money into other services. But we have to do some analysis of our overall performance, which we can do in this meeting now. And that's going to help shape how we spend it. Now, we spend a fair bit of money on Google Ads. So it's important we get that right. But we need the data in the first place to get that information correct to pass on to the Google Ads team. So yeah. Always a big mind spinning task this, but listen, that's the way that we got to roll with that to grow the business. Just finished our meetings in clinic there, met with the team for our Q2 analysis. We've got a lot of things that we need to change up into Q3, but some good action points in place, and staff seem happy with it. It's really hard because we try and set things so that the incentives are appropriate and exciting enough for people to want to try and achieve it. But I think actually we've done something which has created a scenario where the incentives they're too limiting. They just focus on quite a short-term aspect of stuff, and that's given us some potential problems in the long run. Got a meeting with a physio, and this is a different meeting. He is a physio who I knew from when I did my placement, and he's actually started up his own business. So I'm going to meet with him today and give him some tips and ideas of what we're doing in the hope that it can help him. He's quite early on in his journey, so I'm hoping it's going to be really beneficial for him. And it's nice to be able to help other people out and get to follow their journey as well. So hoping this is going to be a good one. Had a really positive meeting with Addy, is the name of the physio. He's setting up his own practice over like north west London way. And we were just talking about all the things that he needs to or should be doing as part of his own development for his own clinic. And it's really refreshing to be able to sit there and offer my advice. I wouldn't say words of wisdom, but being able to offer advice to him and hopefully seeing him put it into action is fulfilling, to say the least. And it's nice because I'm involved in loads of network groups and loads of people give me good advice on what I should be doing because they're at different stages of their career or their business career, and they're the stages that I want to get to. So they're feeding stuff to me, I can then feed down, and hopefully Addy will use that to feed back to other people in the future, if it all goes well, of course. So now, I'm back at office. I'm going to do some admin stuff by going through, got emails to go through and sort out. And I want to look at some of the analysis that we did from our Q2 meeting earlier on today and just look at what then plans are going to look like for everyone moving forwards and what type of things we need to start putting in place from the business side of it to make sure that we're strong and robust as we go into Q3. Okay, on my way back from the residential project that we're doing, it was good. Towards the end, I got to meet the electricians who were coming in to do the first fix. And we're just talking about the different things that we could put in place for it to make the project really, really good. And one of the things I'm talking about is the forward invested into certain things, and it's definitely through having this physio business that has taught me some of the costs that I've cut in the past and where I've tried to save money, and actually in the long term it's probably actually cost me more money. For example, one of the things we're talking about there is putting solar panels on to the rooftop, and that comes at a cost. But my reflection of that is I look at some of our clinics at the moment and they're probably too small for what we're able to do with them. And in hindsight, I wish I'd taken on a bigger project and I wish I'd forward invested into it because we're quickly outgrowing our current locations and that's creating a bit of a bottleneck for us. And had we had a bigger unit for us to grow into, then we'd be in a far better position than we are at the moment. The position isn't bad, but it's one of them situations where I wish we had a bigger site. In fact, I wish it was 3 times the size of what we have at the moment because I know we'd be able to do some great things with it. But unfortunately, we're in a bit of a position where we're in particular leases, we can't get out of them. If we had a bigger and better project, and if I had forward invested into things and backed myself a little bit more, then we'd be in a different situation though. So I'm trying to apply this to what I'm doing at the moment and using the skills that I've learned in the past to what I do now. Barnet Clinic, we've got the team working nicely back here. Tash on accounts, Marco on. They didn't catch you the smile then. You gotta save your smile when the camera's pointing. Marco's working on our new booking system. Gemma is here. Hype girl. We're just working on our new booking platform in the hope that we're going to be able to integrate loads of different things with it. I'm going to catch up with Marco now and see how he's getting on. And I'm sure he's going to tell me, wonderful, everyone looks happy, so it must be going superbly well. So I'm going to turn the camera off and enjoy my excitement with them right now. Friday morning, I'm on my way to my home visits for the day. This morning, I just had a meeting with Gemma. We were talking about the way that we analyse our metrics within clinic, and we're really trying to focus on getting the right balance for what does good care look like and how do we manage what good care looks like. And it's very, very difficult. And one of the things that we are super interested in is looking at the prevention side of things rather than the cure. So by that, what I mean is if people come in with pain, we can try and cure the pain and stop the pain hurting, which we're very, very good at, I must say. But then it's more important of working out, well, how do they end up in pain? And is there anything that we could do to intervene to stop the same thing happening again? If you look at all the research that exists, the number one biggest predictor, the first biggest predictor of injury is actually genetics, but the second biggest predictor would be previous injury. So if you've had an injury in the past, then you are much more likely to get injured than someone who hasn't had an injury in the past. And it's that message which you really need to try and get through to the general public. It's a change in the way society thinks, for sure, because we don't do very much to help ourselves with looking after our body. Whilst we think we may do stuff which helps, we can be active, we can eat well, but there's so many other things that we could do differently. And what our role should be looking at is how we can assist in ensuring that all the things they're doing are correct and they believe they're doing things correct. What our job to do as physios and healthcare professionals is to ensure that we educate everyone so they're fully aware of what is happening with their body. And this is where the prevention side of things comes from. And I also work with a lot of consultants, and one of the things that they say really, really regularly is that they are less interested in how we as physios rehab someone after their operation. In fact, they are actually more interested in how we prevent them having an operation. So we really need to make sure our mindset within clinic is exactly fixed on that. And that's a big focus of mine as we grow and progress this company. And that's the thing that we were looking at today. My role is becoming more and more shaped towards what I think it should be designed to do, which is growth of the business, but also how we continue to attract new people to come work with us. And that's both from a patient acquisition, but also staff acquisition. And there's definitely some things that I'm developing at the moment to make sure that we're at the forefront of people's minds when it comes to working with us. We want to be the number one clinic in North London. We want to be the place that people want to come and work at. We want to make sure that we have high standards which people aspire to come and work at, and also aspire to maintain. I think that's really important. I wouldn't want to work at a place which is kind of mediocre, run-of-the-mill, doesn't really care about growth, doesn't really care about ambition or anything like that. So I really want to hope that we have them type of people coming through to work with us. And it seems from our recruitment that we do at the moment that we very much do have that. We do a really kind of in-depth way of interviewing people, and it gives us an opportunity to be able to see firsthand how committed they are to actually achieving what we're looking for. We want the best performers, the best therapists, whether that be, like I say, a sports team. Sports teams don't look at it and go, oh, we just want average people who will kind of come along and join us and not necessarily going to produce things. In any professional sports team, the demands are going to be high, especially in the top teams. And as I say, that's what we look for when we're recruiting, and we hope that people want to be a part of that. So yeah, if that is you, then you know where we are. Send in your CV and we'll be in touch. So, just got back to have some lunch, but turns out there is a counsellor from Barnet who is at our Barnet clinic willing to meet me. I actually reached out to them and I suggested that this time we should meet, but they didn't actually come back to me. But I've just been told that they've turned up. So I now have to go and meet with them, which is good news. It's a positive thing of what we're trying to work on and build, but has slightly disrupted my hour that I've got now before my next home visit. But I need to go and see them and see what they have to say. Okay, you would have just seen a minute ago that I managed to misjudge a meeting I had with a local counsellor. I managed to go and attend the meeting, but then I had to go straight to another home visit. So I've just finished the home visit there. The meeting was really, really positive. I actually reached out to them myself because I had a proposition to them about a property that they are currently advertising for sale, where the council are advertising, and there is a community group who are interested in taking this on. And what I am looking at potentially doing with them is whether or not we can collaborate in some way or other. Now, there is nothing at all guaranteed or potentially even likely to come through. It was just literally an initial conversation. But what it did give me a chance to do is share the vision of where we're trying to go and get other people to see what it is that we're trying to achieve. So that was really, really positive. The fortunate thing as well is that the person who is chairing the committee group, they happen to be a patient of ours. Well, not them directly, but their son comes to see us. And it was so refreshing and amazing and encouraging to hear all the positive words she had to say about us. And I'm not just making this up, I promise you that was what she said. She was comparing our treatment and the way that we've looked after her son compared to other places that she's been before. And I'm not here to knock other places and say anything about how they are good, bad or ugly or anything like that. But the message from her was that we were night and day different to the other provider that they had been for, which for me is amazing. And like I say, I'm not here to badmouth people, but it's so nice to hear that type of feedback directly from the patient and know that all the work we're doing is really, really positive. So yeah, that meeting went fantastically well. She was really impressed with the ideas that we have, is going to take it back to the rest of the committee team, and we will know in a few weeks' time whether or not they want to have any more meetings about it, so that we can discuss further the possibility of working with them on a bigger scale. Giving you the first look at the new rehab facility we have down here at Colindale. There we go. That is the first sign of the gym. Tomorrow I'm going to be coming back in. I'm going to film what it's looking when it's all set up and all finished. Decent space up there, brand new machines as well. It's going to be fantastic for our rehab stuff. So yeah, excited for the team to get in there and start using it all. Yes everyone, Saturday morning. I don't normally get to do this. Coming out for a run, it's at 10:30. Don't know if you can see, I've just run up that massive hill, which is over there. But this always happens when I bring on a new person. I feel this sense of relief that I've got someone else who is handling some of the bigger aspects of what I'm doing in my day. So I'll spend a lot of time on video and editing, as well as doing all the other things within the business. So having James on board, who's going to take off a big chunk of that, has been huge relief. But this is the curse, I think, of owning your own business, is that I get this time back, and then I think to myself, right, what could I be doing? What could I be doing differently? Like, it's 10 o'clock now. I normally get up at 5 or whatever to go to the gym. But already in my head, I'm thinking, okay, now that I get this free time back, how do I better use that to make a positive change to the business? And sometimes I'm gonna have to get to a point of sometime in the future where I reflect and think, you know what, this is enough. We're where we want to be at. I just don't feel that we're there yet. I think we've got loads more potential with the other services that we offer, and yeah, something that I'm going to keep pushing towards, in the hope that we make it there one day. Saturday afternoon, I am on my way to our Colindale clinic. I've got a young fellow in the back as well, so if you hear any screaming, crying, it is my young son who is coming with me. So Gemma is out today doing her thing, and I'm going down here because it's the grand opening of their gym floor space. Say hello. There it is. Right, everyone, here we go. We're at the brand new Anytime Fitness facility down in Colindale. Things are looking decent here. We've got this, well, this is just one of the areas that are here. We've got loads of stuff which is behind us. We've got all of the cardio machines which we've got access to. I'm gonna take you for a quick bigger tour of the gym as well now. This is the other part of the gym. We get access to all of the equipment that you see down here. So it should level up our rehab massively. So I'm excited for the team to start using this. I'm gonna start using this as well on my Friday clinics. Music's quite loud here at the moment, so apologies if you can't really hear what I'm talking about. But I've also got someone else clinging on for dear life to me down here. So making life difficult doing filming here. But yeah, this place is looking decent. Okay, just finished up at the Colindale Fitness after doing my tour of the gym you saw, and I just pulled over there to look at a potential investment opportunity which arose or arrived on my desk the other day. It is a large centre, to say the least, and there is the opportunity for us to be able to purchase that for one of our clinic sites. And what that would do is it would give us the control and ownership of it, which would then protect us from any kind of renters' rights or anything like that. So I'm going to be looking into that a little bit more. I had a meeting with the counsellor the other day on Friday, which I mentioned I was heading over to clinic to do, and that meeting was regarding that particular site that I just showed you there. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not we actually managed to develop on that conversation we had. The initial conversation was really, really positive. The counsellor, in fact, has their son who comes to see us at clinic, which was fantastic to hear. And yeah, really going to be looking at whether or not something like that is a viable opportunity for us. Later on this evening, we have a social event with our clinic team. I'm going to take the camera down there, do some filming, and show you what life is like working with us at Bodylogics.